tailored to science, to scientific use cases. However, as we will see, it's very applicable to many other domains as well. For what regards science, it's a key point for us that we tackle multidisciplinary scientific communities, so we're not tied to specific use cases. Another key point is that whatever we develop must be deployable on hybrid infrastructure, so a combination of public and private cloud infrastructures. And as a matter of fact, the name of INDIGO already showed that this was one of the main purposes of the project, integrating distributed data infrastructure for global exploitation, global meaning, not only, by the way, European level, but also beyond. Why we started this? Well, first of all, to answer the technological needs of scientists who have a use case that could not easily be fulfilled by existing technologies. So this is an overview of the INDIGO participants. You can see in the map of Europe over here, some way, that we are spread more or less all over Europe. It's very important to highlight that the constituency of the INDIGO consortium includes a wide variety of actors, software developers, universities, and research institutes, but also infrastructures, users, scientific communities, and last but not least at all, industrial partners. So if I want to summarize the overall objective of INDIGO, we could say that the objective is to develop software components and solutions that either facilitate or in many cases just make it possible, it was not possible before, the exploitation of distributed cloud and storage resources through hybrid infrastructure, public and private. Hence our motto, which is better software for better science. And this is captured also in a more descriptive way in this picture, which shows our vision. So let me explain briefly this picture here. We start from scientific users with use cases, requirements. As a consequence of these requirements, we developed components, solutions. These components are modular and can be deployed on many infrastructure, private, commercial, publicly funded, and so on and so forth. Typically, these infrastructure exploit data sets, resources of various kinds. In the end, what is important is that we are back to the users, so the users are able to produce scientific results. And if we want to expand this, basically this is what we did. So to develop open and interoperable solution, in particular for scientific data, in a European context, as we will see, to enable collaboration across multiple communities. And we believe that the INDIGO architecture, analysis, the know-how, and the software components can be offered as a complete step toward the implementation of the EOS, the European Open Science Cloud. Now, this is the approach that we have been following since the beginning. If you look at this picture here, on the y-axis, you see the value or the visibility for end users. So we recognized that the value for users increases as you move away from the bare-bone infrastructural services, and as you move toward a more complex or more abstract, if you want, layers such as platform as a service or software as a service. However, we also provide ways, we will see, to optimize infrastructural services for resource providers. But in general, in all our solutions, we abstract from the details of the underlying IaaS technologies, the infrastructure solutions. So we offer flexibility to choosing the providers, again, public or private. And at the same time, we give users the possibility to express and implement their requirements in services, components, eventually integrating them into their applications. This is concretely realized. As I said, we developed software in our software releases. So what we did throughout the project, we released 2 major versions. And our second and final one is called Electric INDIGO. And at the URL here, you can find the details of the release itself. But in summary, it's composed of about 50 modular components. They are modular, so you don't need to buy everything. You just pick and choose what you need. They are distributed by a substantial number of packages, tarballs, Debian packages, RPMs, and as well as about 50 ready-to-use Docker containers that you can download and instantiate to have your services running straight away. We support modern operating system. We support open source cloud frameworks such as OpenStack and OpenNebula. However, we also provide connections to commercial clouds such as Amazon, Microsoft Azure, or Google Compute Cloud. And everything, as I said, is freely available and downloadable from the INDIGO-DataCloud software repository. This is described in the two service catalogs that we have published. There was another one published with the first release. Now we have split the catalog in two parts. One is a high-level catalog, that's a slim version, which provides, if you want, a bird's eye view of the Indigo components. And then we have a detailed technical catalogs with also examples of applications of the Indigo components into real use cases and applications, and several quotes that explain better how to use the services. Now, this will be described a bit more in detail later on, but basically, since we realized about 50 components, it was important also to organize the component space, if you want. So the software components are basically organized around 5 areas. The first one is the interfaces that we provide for applications to connect to cloud providers and to automate the composition of multiple services. So this is typically for users who wish to port their application to the cloud. Then we have a section for flexible identity and access management. This is typically a very much required use case to handle authentication and authorization in applications. We have a section for solution on data management and data analytics for users who want to manage, distribute data, big data. We have a user-facing set of components providing web portals, mobile applications, and finally, we have, as I said, also the ways to optimize the services for data centers and resource providers. So this can be used to actually optimize and or enhance the service offering. This will be all described a bit more in the next talk, which is on the Indigo technical services. So to recap.